The grace of God is shining in me right now, this very moment. That's the only thing we're here to realize and to experience, is that amazing fragrance that wafts in from heaven and descends upon us, and then calls us to return to the home we never left except in our imagination. I just love that image of the fragrance of heaven and the realization that that's what grace is. And as we said yesterday, it's time to stop walking around like this, refusing to smell and to sense what is always around us, refusing to see what has always been true, refusing to see what has always seen us. That's the simple message we share here every day. Open your eyes and see. And I guess now it's stop closing up your nose and smell that fragrance. We can't smell a dream flower, but we can sense that bouquet of heaven that's with us right now. So that's how we begin our week, and we're going to be focusing all week on grace. And I wanted to begin this morning by sharing a few sentences from, probably my favorite 20th century spiritual writer, and that would be, as some of you probably guessed, Thomas Merton, the amazing Trappist monk who was, he was the voice of deep contemplation and still is. And I love that. This is something that Richard Rohr actually shared this morning, and I read it. So I thought it would be a good place for us to begin. And Merton wrote this right after he had an experience walking down the street in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville is very near the monastery of Gethsemane, where he spent most of his life. And he, for some reason, was downtown Louisville, and something overwhelmed him. Something happened that he couldn't explain, but in that moment, all the tumblers fell into place, and he was able to experience that unified grace that is everywhere at once. So this is what Merton wrote after that experience. He said, "At the center of our being, there is a point of nothingness." Baraka, you'll love that. There is a point of nothingness which is untouched by sin and by illusion. A point of nothingness which is untouched by sin and illusion. A point of pure truth. A point or a spark which belongs entirely to God, which is never at our disposal, from which God disposes of our lives, which is inaccessible to the fantasies of our own mind or the brutalities of our own will. That point of nothingness at the center of our being. This point of nothingness and of absolute poverty is the pure glory of God in us. Notice that he says of absolute poverty. We're going to come back to that. It is like a pure diamond blazing with an invisible light of heaven, the invisible light of heaven. It is in everybody, and if we could see it, then we would see billions of points of light coming together in the face and blaze of a sun that would make all the darkness and cruelty of life disappear completely. And yet, we have no program for seeing it. We're not able to see it with our eyes, in other words, or with our minds. It is only given. It is given to us by what? By grace? Yes. But the gate of heaven, the gate that leads to that grace, is everywhere. That's someone who is speaking from that point of pure experience, trying to put words or concepts to something which will never be encompassed by words or concepts. But we try, and that's as close as we come, is to say it's everything and it's everywhere. That grace that I'm experiencing right now is everything. It's everything. All I need to do is open my eyes and see. Well, that led me to write this little bit, which is part of this collection that, as you know, I've been just allowing to come through, the infinite light or the impersonal light. So let me read this experience from grace, from that point of nothingness where grace enters in fully. I am leading you into an experience of grace that requires no effort, only the desire to see. I read that very slowly because that one sentence is the whole thing. Let me read it one more time. I am leading you into an experience of grace that requires no effort, only the desire to see. And the word see, S-E-E, is capitalized. You need do nothing to receive this gift of sight, but it must be the only thing you want. It must be the only thing you want. If you want more than this, you will receive less. And if you desire less of this world, you will receive all. Wow, what a statement. Once again, if you want more than this, you will receive less. If you want more than this grace, you will receive less. And if you desire less of this world, you will receive all. When your desire is unified, then you will finally be able to receive that which has always been offered. The gift of seeing that has always been true. This is grace, and it is everywhere at once. You may be confused when I say that you must desire less in order to receive all. The more you chase in this world, the more lost you become. The more you chase in this world, the more stuff you try and get, the more lost you become, not the other way around. The ego screams more, 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 like a mantra, and yet this is not a sacred mantra, but one of demonic intent. It is meant to confuse the simple solution that is all around you every moment. It knows that dissolving into all means releasing what you do not need, or letting go of all of the distractions you have claimed until now. They are like golden chains you wrap around your body, thinking they make you rich, when in reality they do the opposite. Let them fall to your feet. You do this by desiring only one thing, the grace I am offering you now. When you finally accept it, you will realize that it was what you always sought. The one thing in the universe that satisfies your longing. I am the solution to every problem you have ever known. Accept me now, and everything else will fall into place. Boy, we could unpack that for days if we chose to. And yet it's so simple. So much richness was there, but it really is simple. Like in that one phrase, if you want more than this, you will receive less. If you want more than this grace, you will receive less. And if you desire less of this world, you will receive all. Stop seeking that which doesn't seek you. Wow. Stop seeking that which is not seeking you. Seek only that which has always sought your full and total recognition, because you are found already. But if you're found but still asleep and dreaming, you can't realize that. You can't realize that you've already been found. But you have to seek only that. That's what we say over and over every day. Seek one thing. Not all the things that you think that you want or need. Seek that point of nothingness that Thomas Merton described. that Baraka so beautifully expressed a couple of days ago. That point of nothingness at the center of everything, at the center of everything. Because if you seek only that, you will realize it already found you. It already discovered you, though you've been sound asleep and you didn't realize it. Open your eyes, wake up. Wake up by seeking the one single thing in this universe that sets you free. That sets you free. So, now I turn to our dear sister, Vicky, who is going to take that even higher for us. Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning, Jimmy. Good morning, everyone. Well, thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for the fun and thanks for the party. You know, I belong to the party division. I guess we all do here. So, but this is what opens right away as you were reading Merton and your own writing there. It's about being remarkably present just now, because just now is where everything is. And it right now is unified. I guess be here now goes right. It is simple, right? But right now, and I always go back to enjoy and open to right now. And there's no, when you said a unified goal and poverty is not having other goals. Poverty is leaving everything else. And just not even I am, just that I, just deep, like enjoying that no matter what. Pay attention to nothing else. Don't worry if it's raining or snowing or people are throwing things. Just move into that. And that single focus, it just is, it's the end of self-conflict. That's all a single desire is, because there's no more other identity looking for anything and not using the past for anything. Now has no past in it, not even my best past experience. It doesn't matter, forget it, it's gone anyway, and more of it is right here now. So no matter what, just right here now. That's today's message.
Isn't it simple? Don't you just love how simple and how beautiful it is when you reduce it to what you said? Say one more time, Vicky, because you said it so well. How you see, it's like we're up in the mountains now, and there's not enough oxygen for me to think. We're at the highest point. But you said basic. Oh, I don't even know what you said. I can't hear.
But Francis was right, Sister Poverty. We've got to be to the world, to the ideas, to everything. That's what true poverty is. It's not what, and that's where true riches are. Just right now, like who cares any of it?
I love that Merton calls it absolute poverty.
Yeah.
He doesn't reduce it to our human understanding of poverty, which is not having anything. Absolute poverty is having everything. Poverty on a lesser level is seeking after some things but not getting others. What we're talking about here is everything. That's what absolute poverty, but absolute poverty is the exact same thing as absolute abundance.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. I hope you are all getting this, because this is just, whoa, oh man, this is it. I see you guys. I see you guys outside the wall are getting it. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Hey, since we're on you guys here in Namaste, why don't you guys begin, and then we're going to go to Baraka right after that. But there are no words that just get to the point where all you can do is just keep falling back into that grace and laughing. Just laughing. But is there anyone there who would like to laugh on camera? Oh, Susan, I can feel it from you. The grace of God is shining in me now. That's it right there. It's shining in me right now. Hmm. All right, Baraka, it's all yours. Go for it.
I'm lit here. I'm really lit. I've been jotting down a couple of thoughts here. Absolute poverty is the same as absolute anything else, in that it represents the zero frequency. It is where I stand in the grace of God, which has no movement because nothing is required to be there. A long time ago, I live in Central Florida. A long time ago, when I first moved here, every spring there would be this remarkable thing that would overtake the entire area, and that was when the orange trees would blossom in the orchard, orchard groves. And I could sort of identify the smell, but I didn't know where it was coming from. And some of you may know that for a long time, I didn't own a car. I rode my bicycle everywhere. And so I decided I wanted to find out where this beautiful smell was coming from. And I took my bike out and I rode around, and all of a sudden the smell wasn't there anymore. It was very strange. So I was very disappointed. So I came back to my house and there was the smell again. Now I looked around my where I lived, and there was no evidence of an orange grove there. But I finally, I actually Googled my area and I said, oh, there's an orange grove. So I rode that way, and sure enough, I found it. Every year, they began developing more and more in this area, which means they started removing more and more of the orchard groves. And I would have to go further afield to find that smell, that beautiful essence under my nose or surrounding me. And when I would find an orange grove, it would be, oh, so beautiful. But I would have to go home again. So I realized that the smell of the orange grove was not something permanent in me. It was something I had to run around and go seeking. And it was never the same place twice because the orange groves were constantly being cleared out for housing development. So what comes to mind is the joke about the dog, the man watching the dog chase a car, and finally the car stops, and the dog catches up to the car, and the guy says to the dog, "Now you got it. What are you going to do with it?" Well, the dog doesn't know anything about the car. The dog doesn't know what it does. So it goes, "Oh, I guess I got to go chase another car." So here I am chasing what I don't know about, actively moving around, trying to find that place where that essence fills me again. And all I realize is that the difference between all, the real all, and nothing, the real nothing, there is no difference. It is the same. Right. We come back to the stillness again. All is nothing. Absolute poverty is everything, because it is everything that exists, not everything in this world. It is just what we are here chasing after. And so by standing around in the 0 point, we become in the same place with that which we are chasing.
Yeah, I love it. Wow, I love the dog analogy. And we can bring that whole thing, everything you just expressed and everything that's been expressed here all morning, down to just two little statements. Instead of what we usually say, all or nothing, it's all and nothing. It's all and nothing. They're the same thing. That's all we need to remember.